Here now to talk about the Digital Evidence Task Force. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning. Really appreciate it, so thank you. So let's start off. So how did the work relating to the task force kick off?
You look at IACP's experience over the last decade, increasingly digital evidence has found its way into most other issues policing's dealing with, and the three committees have found themselves increasingly working together on various aspects of that, to the extent that it just became necessary, this immense amount of collaboration, to form something in the way of an organization to deal with a larger problem.
So I think we all understand, don't we? We live in a digital world, you know, from our iPhones to our computers to everything else, but why is it so relevant to policing?
Well, in policing, one of the things is to collect evidence, and all of this digital footprint is evidence, and knowing how to collect it, knowing what's out there, the resources. Executives today have to understand what's there, and we need our communities to understand what we're looking for to help. So putting together something like this brings the set of three different committees who can share in that process, and also provides the executive the questions he needs, not so much getting down into the weeds, but what I need to know before we can collect this evidence.
Now you talk about the three committees. Give us a little bit more detail on that, the committees and how they come together.
Sure. So I'm a co-chair of the Forensic Science Committee, and the perspective on this from forensic science is the role of the scientist is to process and prepare the evidence for court, and so that's the focus that we came into this collaboration with.
Yeah, and then again, as I repeated, in the Police Investigative Operations Committee, our job is to help those small to medium-sized officers understand the need to collect this, and what the resources have, and what it takes, not only physically to do it, but legislatively.
And the Computer Crime and Digital Evidence Committee has looked at the technology from the perspective of the tools as it relates to evidence, the actual examiners, the practitioners, proficiency in that realm, training, process, and all of the kind of nexus for challenge and where we needed to go with either policy, guidelines, standards, and that's led us right to collaboration with the other two committees.
Now, when you're at this conference and there's so many thousands of people, and the IACP, one of the things it does so well is provide these resources to departments, some of whom aren't as big or as well resourced as others. So how do people at the conference get hold of your work?
Well, there's print, and so at the IACP Central Hub, you can find hard copies of what is a trifold, and this is essentially a Kiplinger approach to a lot of information for an executive, but consumable, friendly. There's also going to be a way to download it digitally from the IACP Hub itself, as well as on the website. So there'll be multiple ways to take this product away.
And what are the next steps?
Well, one is to continue to get lawful access. So the information is out there, but then we have to make sure that we can get access to it and continue to work with our other agencies, let all our legislators know, let the public know, let the police chiefs know that we have to continue on, and also to make resources available to our investigators so that they can collect this evidence. And then,
right, and so every crime now has a digital component, and so what we saw the critical effort here was providing a police executive with a core understanding of what they need to know in this space. And so the product that we provided this time is to get that eye-opening experience and understanding, and then in the future what we'll have is continuing products from not only these committees, but from a number of other areas within the IACP and quite frankly all other professional organizations dealing with addressing crime, and especially addressing crime of the future.
We've provided executives with a primer here, as well as a framework for policy and legislative thought process. Now we can kind of dive into the weeds, things like emerging technology, vehicles, autonomous, unmanned aerial systems, all those newer challenges, and where we need to go in very specific ways. But this gives us an umbrella within which a context, to discuss all that.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for joining us today. It's a really interesting subject, so thank you.
Thank you.